Okay, well let's start with some shoulder loosening then. We've got a chilled Ibiza album, so just going to pop you guys on mute and share some sound. Make sure you've got a glass of water there or a bottle, and you will ideally need a stick at some point. But can everyone hear some music with me over the top? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, great. Check the volume. Fine. Want any more volume? Pop your speakers up at your end. Alrighty, so we're going to begin with some punching up to your ears and then press your shoulders down. So if you can come up, squeeze your shoulders and press down. Really rolling your shoulders back. And then just circling on the one side, keeping your other shoulder still. And then do the same on the other one, keeping the other shoulder still. And noticing, does one crunch more than the other? Mine certainly does today. And then I'd like you to round your upper back and then open your chest. And we're going to look up, and then as we round, we'll look down. Breathe in as you look up, breathe out and look down. And as you keep going with that opening and closing action, I want you to rise onto your tiptoes when you open and then drop to flat feet when you close. So rise as you open and then drop to flat feet. Breathe in, look up. Breathe out, look down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. And just do that a couple more times for me. Alrighty, from there I want you to look over your shoulder, and then we're going to drop the head down and round and turn your head so you look over your other shoulder. And then drop your head, rolling down and round to the other side. And each time you look behind your shoulder, turn your head enough that you can feel a bit of a pull. Do it again. Breathe in as you look behind. Notice what you can see behind, and then roll your head. And sort of turn your eyes. So you're trying to see as far around behind you as you can now. Opening up the field of vision behind you each time you do it. And one more each way. And final one. And then I'd like you to drop your head down to one side and let your head go heavy. And move to the middle and do it the other way. So drop your head, let it go heavy. Breathe in, keep going. Here comes Julia, just letting her in. And then start to put your upper body into it. So we're going to lean, slide the hand towards the knee. And the other way, lengthening the arm over the top of the head. And over on the other side. Hi, Julia. Go the other way, and then start to take your feet just a little bit wider and drop down and around. So we lean, sweep, keep going. So dropping down and around. Here comes James. So we lean and sweep and down and around. Let's do that again. So lean, sweep, lean and sweep. And just going to do that one more time each way. And then I'd like you to come up and bring your arms here. So, hi James, nice to see you. So arms wide. If you can bring your knee up, out to the side and round. So welcome the wobble on these. As you do it, think about your posture. So coming up and around. That's it. Keep that going for me. And then reversing. So we go back in the opposite direction. Now keep lengthening up through the crown of your head as you do it. And can you get your arms up about shoulder height? That's it. Reach into your fingertips. Reach your fingertips out to the side. Okay, good job. Give your arms a shake. Let's do that the other way. So knee up. Now can you get your knee up to sort of hip height and point your toes. So quite firmly pointing your toes, but relaxing your shoulders. Alrighty, let's reverse that. Can you make your circle with your knee a bit bigger now? Reaching into your fingers, so you're lengthened through your arms. And one more time. Alrighty, let's release. Placing the hand here on the top of your head and then turning towards your armpit, sliding the back of to the back of your skull as you just pull your head down, chin in towards the armpit. Just notice where you feel a pull. Hopefully that's got that spot for Emma and Gainer that we were talking about. Stretches into our levator scap muscle. Let's release and place the other hand on the top. So turning chin down in towards the armpit, hand around the back of the head. A little pull, breathe. Okay, so we're going to take our arms wide to do a little kick forward and a kick back, keeping some length through your upper body. I want you to get a little bit of height on your leg to mobilize your hip. Now as you do it, can you point your toes? Testing balance. And last couple on this side. Final one. And then repeat over on the other leg. Can you lengthen your arms up at the side? That's it. Now can you get a bit of height on that leg? Can you do it without putting your foot on the floor? Welcome the wobble. And last couple. Alrighty, final one. And we're going to swing up and squat down. Swing up and squat down. So sit into your squat, breathe in, breathe out. As you come up now, I want you to rise and hold on your tiptoes, and then drop and squat. Rise and hold, 2, 3, and then drop and squat. As you come down, breathe out. It's a big sigh of relief, particularly if you've had a hectic day. 2 more. So final one. Alrighty, so grab a drink if you need one. We're going to come down onto the mat next. And breathe in. And breathe out. Are you looking for online classes that support you with getting more me time? You want to get supple, strong, feel less stressed, get in the driving seat. But actually, perhaps you've noticed that following videos on YouTube isn't actually helping you commit. It's not like the teacher reaches out and says, correct your hips, bring your knee back, move your posture back. And this is the problem. So, of course, you can hit subscribe to get more from the Zigs YouTube channel. But let's face it, we're not going to send our children to a school without a teacher or a tutor. I mean, what's their life going to be like if they're going to learn in that way. So my name's Claire Louise Freeman. I'm the business owner of Zigs Exercise, and I like to encourage you to join me and my community online, where we get together via Zoom and we practice Pilates conditioning, yoga stretches, mobility. And the thing is, we get to actually talk through this stuff. We get to do it together. And to me, consistently doing it together is the thing that gives us much, much better results than if we're left flailing around in front of a video trying to do it all by ourselves. So if you'd like more information about joining me and others, please reach out, get in touch. You can work with us morning, evening, from the comfort of your own home. It's great because you get all the kit together at home, and it does help you to practice in between as well. So I'm offering a complimentary kickstart call. We can talk through what's getting in the way, why it's not worked so far. And sometimes the hardest bit is actually just picking up the phone and talking it through. So brave pants on. I work with all sorts of people from various walks of life, different shapes and sizes. And often people who do work with me do it because they say that I do it in a very non-judgmental way. Of course, it's free to talk, so you can click the link in the description box below, and we can get to know each other and see if we're a good fit. There's no pressure here. On the call, I'll listen in to what you need support with, what your personal needs are, and I can answer any of your questions about our online Pilates and yoga, where we do it together in community. Why wait? This stuff doesn't get any easier as we get older. We work with lots of busy parents, grandparents, business owners, NHS professionals, private school teachers, regular school teachers. So if that feels like you and you need that support and accountability on getting it done, that's the thing. If we've got the sessions booked in regularly, that means we're much more likely to show up. And it's that regularity that people are often missing. They take time off during holidays. It's the commitment that gets the motivation. So why wait? Book in, give me a call, and I'll see you on the other side. So if you can join me down here, do a little bit more mobilization for our backs. So I'd like you to come to a seated position, tuck your knees in, and then tap. It helps me to instruct you if you've got your screen where I can see you. So for first level, we're going to tuck like this. So the hands are going in the front of the knees. And for new people, you might just want to focus on trying to lift your bottom a bit off the floor to mobilize your back. So use your hands here on your knees. The next level, those of you doing level 2, I'm going to hover the feet just off the ground and then roll. We hold at the top, or not. That's it. So we hold and then roll. And lift up through your chest, trying to get a nice even roll through your back, and then lifting your chest and your breastbone when you balance at the top. A more advanced level, we hold the V here, pointing the toes, and then go into the roll. So for those of you new, work up through the levels over the weeks, the months, sometimes years. Let's do that 2 more times. The last one. Okay, good job. Can you meet me on all fours now? I'm going to take our opposite arm and leg away. So we're holding a balance like this, reaching the opposite arm to the leg away. And then can you touch your elbow and your knee together underneath your body? And then reach, holding, pointing your toes, extending your fingers, and then relaxing as you bring your elbow to your knee. Reach and hold, 2, 3, and then round. Breathe in as you reach, 2, 3, exhale and round. And as you keep doing that, the hand that's on the floor, push it down into the ground. 2 more on this side. So final one. And then if you can swap arms and repeat on the other side. So elbow to knee, breathe in as you reach, holding for a couple of seconds, exhaling and rounding. So pushing the ground away on the hand that stays on the floor. Try to get the height of your leg up enough that you can feel your buttock muscle kicking in and activating. And you do that twice more. So final one, and then meet me in the downward dog. So here it is, we're going to hook the toes under and lift the tailbone. So we'll take a stretch here. Try to walk your feet back so your heels are off the ground, pressing your heels downwards and adding some lift in your bottom to stretch your calves. Now as we hold the pose, we're going to bend through one leg and then switch to the other side. So like this, flexing the toes on one side, pressing the heel down on the other. Breathe. You're feeling for the stretch in your calf. Relax your breathing as you do it. Soften your shoulders. Breathe. And one more on each side. So final one, and then walk your hands and your feet together. So we're folding our body in half like this. And I want you to get hold of your elbows. So here. We're going to swing around to one side, swing around to the other. So you're loosening into your lower back. You let your upper body go floppy, a bit ragdoll-like. Just kind of getting into the feel of that in the back. One more on each side. Okay, so are we all feeling a bit warmer? Coming down onto the back, let's do some mat work next. So if you can come and lay down with your fingertips touched together in the curve of your back. I want you to imprint pressure into your hands. So try and keep that pressure in your hands as you extend a leg and back in. So level 1, beginner level, or particularly if you're having a back flare up, work with this one. Level 2, if you've got that good pressure there and your back's happy, then we move one knee out, straighten the leg, tap the heel on the floor. For advanced level, we're going to do it here with our toes directly above our hip, pointing the toes and then flexing. Point on the way down, flex, point, flex. So you choose your level, depending where you're at in your journey. Can we do that 4 more times? Breathe. So last couple. And final one. And then bending the knees. If you can pop your hands just here on top of your knees. And we're going to circle the knees out, round and back in to mobilize your hips. You let your knees sort of give in to gravity as you do it. And then reverse, back in the opposite direction. And as you're doing it, just slightly arching your back and then tucking, arching, tucking, so massaging the lower part of your back into the ground. Get into the feel of that. Last couple. Alrighty, and then we're going to roll up to seated. And we're going to do some curls. If it's tricky for you to come down and up like this, hands free, you can hook a strap, a band, a jumper, something under your feet and use it to lever yourself down. If you can get yourself up and down hands free, then we'll do this version. So level 2, we're going to drop and then lift. Or third level, we're going to do it with the arms by the ears and then to here. So more advanced, arms to ears and then roll down. Try to straighten your back when you're at the top, different to a sit-up. Eye gaze looking up, we're going to tilt the tailbone, keep the eye gaze up and elongate the spine. Inhale on the way down, exhaling on the lift. And we do that 3 more times. So 2 more. Final one. And then as we come up, we're going to bring our opposite foot to our hand forward. So bent leg at the front, 90-degree angle here. Straight leg at the back. We've got our opposite hand over here, down on the ground. And then we're going to lengthen this arm up here to the top. That's it. Push the ground away on that bottom hand. Now, just if you look at your foot, are your toes and your fingers lined up? So try and get your fingers and your toes lined up. If someone was to take a ruler from your fingers, would that ruler extend to your toes? And then from there, we're going to bring this top hand down and move to plank. And we're going to rock forwards and rock back. Now, sometimes the back can buckle if it's not particularly strong. Try to tuck your tailbone under. Notice my bum and my head are about the same height. If the full plank is too much, do it from your knees. Keep your eye gaze forward, not tucking your head down. So look towards a skirting board, say. Breathe out as you rock. Breathe in as you pull back. Open your chest. Try not to round your shoulders. One more time. And then lowering your knees. So we're now going to bring opposite foot forwards. So get that foot far enough forward that when you place this hand down, your toes and your fingers line up. And that's it. And then from there, we're going to turn and reach up through the top arm. Deep breath. And remember, if you're logging in from a phone, you can screen share if you've got a smartphone to a smart TV. You can make a bigger view if needed. You can also use a HDMI cable from a laptop. Deep breath. From here, we're going to bring our top hand down. We're going to go wide leg position. So like this. Now it's up to you how far you take it. Explore the stretch. Our toes pointing forwards. Flattening our hands and just walking our hands into the middle. And having a little look at the world from a different view. If you drop your head through your feet. Breathe. And then from there, we're going to take a sit down. Okay, so I'm going to stay with our wide leg position. Put the shoes off. Now, if it's tricky to sit up straight, I know when my back was particularly bad, it was actually quite hard and painful to sit up straight. So if you're tucking your tailbone and you're sort of rolling off your hips like this, park a cushion, a block, a wedge, a shoe, a trainer, whatever you like, just something just to give your bottom a little bit of lift. And then from there, I want you to try and push your knees down and point your toes at the same time, lifting up from your chest and lengthening out through the arms. Now on the lean, we're going to sort of lift the rib cage over and flex the foot. Now, some of us have got shorter legs than others, so it makes it easier. Equally, flexibility training may not have been on repeat. So we're just going to find where that point is we can get hold of. Hold it where it's a bit uncomfortable for a few seconds, and then come back up and point the toes. So lifting the chest. If you're new to this one, I can guarantee it probably isn't very pleasant to start with. It does take time, but it is about being comfortable with a bit of uncomfortableness, if that's a word. And then we come back up. Now, for those of you who've been doing it a bit longer and you want to go a bit further, we're going to bring this top arm back by the ear. Point the toes. And then we bring the top arm by the ear for those of you doing more of the improvers version. And then for more advanced level, over the weeks and months, we scoop the bottom arm away and bring the head more to the knee. So choose your level. I want you to do 4 more, your own version. Breathe. And stay down there for about 3 seconds each time. Just allowing yourself to be with that bit of uncomfortableness. And final one. Alrighty, let's release and give the legs a shake. So let's come up to standing. Now's a good time to top up the water. So if you grab a drink, I feel like I'm playing a bit of catch up on the fluid today. So let's top up. Cheers, everybody. Right, so have you got some weights there? Can you find some weights? So choose some weights that are going to challenge you a little bit. If you haven't got weights to hand, you can always grab a saucepan or 2. I have known people use bottles of Prosecco. Probably not the most health and safety. Okay, so find something you can lift a few kilos, and I want you to bring your elbows back, open your arms, and extend. Oh, James is on the wine. Coming back in and move to the middle. Let's do that again. So out to the side. Now when you're here, I want you to squeeze your shoulders and then extend your arms. Coming back in and to the center. We're going to tiptoe balance. Extend the arms and come back in and down. Think posture. Let your tailbone hang down when you're up on your tippy toes. So notice what your back is doing. Are you holding tension in your lower back and overarching? I just let the tailbone hang, a little bit like you've got a weight hanging off that little bony bit, your sacrum, and your lower back. Now, for those of you doing more advanced version, we're going to stay on our tiptoes with the arms wide, keeping the weights out there as we turn, moving to the middle and coming back in. Choose your level. You can stick with those first options. Staying up on the tiptoes and adding that rotation in. Breathe. lengthening the tailbone. And you do that one more on each side. Extending through the arms. Really reaching through the arms as you do it. And final one. How steady can you be in your ankles whilst you're up on your tiptoes? Alrighty, let's relax off. Some balance work next. So welcome the wobble on these. I'd like you to bring your knee up, and you're going to hold your knee with your hands. So holding on the one leg, tuck your knee to your chest and think posture again. So imagine someone pulling you up by a bun on the top of your head. It's a good look for the boys. And then back down. Let's do that on the other side. So knee up, tuck in, pointy toes. And then back down. So level one option. Stick with that, particularly if you're already a bit shaky on the balance. Level two, I want you to get a hold of your big toe. So you're going to take your first two fingers and they're going to hook around your big toe. So level two is here. Notice the arm goes on the inside. That's it, we'll hold. Oh, hello James's cat. Always nice I get to meet people's pets. Alrighty, give that a go on the other side. So knee up or getting hold of the big toe. So same arm as the leg, notice, same arm. Third level, straightening the leg out in front. Holding for a few seconds. And then coming back in and down. Alrighty, so you choose again either the knee or the toe or the extension. And as we advance that on, just very slowly adding some movement, the straight leg out to the side. Welcome the wobble on these. Use your eyes, look at something still to steady your mind. And to me, getting the mind into a sort of Zen-like zig zone helps with that focus mentally, clearing the thoughts. It's easy to tune into that chatter that goes, oh my God, I'm going to fall over. So notice what's going on in your head as you do it. Just going to do that one more time. Breathe, clearing the thoughts, looking at something still. Hopping optional. And one more time on the other side. Alrighty, well done. Can you find your weights again? So feet just slightly wider than your hips. Sitting into a squat and bringing your weight towards your shoulder and then releasing. So weight towards your shoulder, I want you to sit into it and then release. So level one, sticking with this version. Level two, we push the weight forwards from the shoulder, coming back in and down. Ina's on the candles. Level three, we're going to extend up. The arm is more by the ear. As you push upwards, press your shoulder blade downwards. So as the arm raises, try not to be here. Press the blade down in the opposite direction like that. Can you do it 4 more times? Holding down for 3 seconds. So we hold 3, 2, 1, and then release. So 2 more. Breathe. Hold down. 3, 2, 1, then release. Final one. Hold. Breathe. 2, 1, and then release. Good job. Can you find a stick? We're going to use it to monitor our posture. So if you can mark your stick here behind, keep it attached to your head, your shoulders, and your tailbone. Knees together. Notice I'm holding my stick with my bottom hand. Heel to touch your bottom if you can. Try and keep hold of your foot. Now you can either stay with that first version. We add a lean, trying to get some height on that back leg until we feel a pull in the thigh. Hopping optional. Again, we'll use the eye gaze. Steady the balance. And release. And shake your leg. And again, balance is like anything. It's all about the practice. If we get hold of the foot, knees together initially, can you touch your heel onto your bottom? Some height. Lengthening up through the crown of your head. Knees squeeze together. Squeeze your knees so your inner thighs touch. Now again, you can either stay with that version or adding some lean, getting some height on the leg, looking at something still, height in the leg, again, hopping optional. Alrighty, if you can shake a leg, let's focus on some more core. Grab another drink. Let's keep topped up. Okay, so down onto our backs. And you pop your hands just here around the back of your head. And bring your elbow and your knee together. Do that on the other side, elbow and knee. So first level, staying with this version. Notice level 2 now. I'm going at double that time. Or straight leg, the third level. Touching one elbow on the floor as the other elbow taps on the knee. Breathing in for 2. Point your toes. Breathe out for 2. Really reach into your toes so you're working into your feet. Don't let them just be kind of flopping around at the end of the leg. Get your feet into your workout. Last couple. Alrighty, and then from there, we're going to keep one knee hugged in. Take a stretch for our sacroiliac joint in our lower back now. I'm going to bring the knee across the body with the opposite hand, touching the foot on the floor, and then trailing the arm behind so the hand is just above the shoulder. We want to get some stretch into our pec as well. So around the front of the chest, we're going to turn the head to look towards the back hand. Breathe in through your nose. And as you breathe out through your mouth, press your shoulder and your knee down simultaneously. Let's do that again. Inhaling through your nose. Exhale, pressing the shoulder and the knee down. Do that again, one more time. Feels like a good stretch to me today. Let's give that a go on the other side. So, knee up to your chest, use your opposite hand to bring your knee across. That's it. And bring your hand on the top of the knee, press the knee towards the floor. And then this arm over here, we're going to trail it so the hand sits just above the shoulder. There we are. And press the back shoulder down. Look over your back shoulder. Inhaling through your nose. And as you exhale through your mouth, press your shoulder and your knee down simultaneously. And just notice where you feel the stretch as you do that. Particularly if you've got any shoulder injuries, you'll probably find this one quite beneficial to notice where the tight spots are. I often think injury is a useful teacher and can be your friend. Alrighty, let's roll to the middle. So we're going to slide our fingers now into the curve of the lower back. Hold the belly button muscle in as we raise the knees, and then as you lower your legs, can you keep good pressure on your hands as you tap your toes down? So slowly coming up, the slower the better with these. Can you keep the pressure on your hands? Avoid overarching your back as you lower, particularly as your feet get just above the floor. We're going to flex our toes at the top and then point them as we touch them down. Flexing on the way up. Now you can explore your core and move your legs a little further away. Now there's usually a point where the back wants to start really overarching. So being mindful of that, try to keep the tuck in the tailbone. Over time, extending. Now it would be easy to rush through those points where the going gets tough. Can you slow it down just at that point above the floor? Breathe. One more time. Alrighty, from here, we're going to extend our legs. Can you interlock your fingers for me like this? That's it. And then turn your palms outwards with the little finger side down. So we've got the fingers interlaced, and then turn the palms so the palms face the same direction as the crown of your head. Closing your eyes. Breathe into your belly. And a long exhale. Imagine you're blowing out any tension, worries, or stresses. Breathing in positive, healthy energy. Exhaling out any tension, worries, or stresses. Breathing in positive, healthy energy. And one more deep breath. Filling up and emptying. Alrighty, from here we're going to bend our legs, keeping our head down on the floor. Now can you place your right leg over your left so that your ankle bone is resting just above your knee like this. Picking up the other leg, so the hands are now behind the back of your thigh. So putting both hands around the back of your left leg. Using your hands to pull in. We've now got both legs in the air. That's it. And as you do that pull in with your hands, I want you to give that stretch a score. So 1 to 10. What's the intensity of the stretch like? You push out with your right elbow. So your right elbow is pushing the knee away from you. Breathe. And pulling the leg in just a bit more firmly so your intensity score goes up a little bit. For some of you, that will be enough, particularly if it's like a 7 or 8 already. I'm scoring out of 10. For those of you who want to go further, we now interlock around the front of the shin like this. Or you can stay with that first version. Let's give that a go on the other side. So pop your feet down like this. And then bring your left leg over your right. Hands around the back of your right leg. Use your hands to pull the leg towards you. And use the elbow on the left to push the knee outwards. So as you push the knee outwards, we're pulling in with the hands behind the other leg. Breathe. Again, give it a score. What's your head posture like? Are you tilting back? Can you drop your chin down and sort of elongate through the back of your neck? That's it. Press your shoulders into the ground. Breathe. Noticing where do you feel that stretch? And then interlacing fingers around the front of the shin for those of you who are taking the stretch a little further today. Breathe. Now sometimes the body can cheat by sort of leaning off to one side. So is your body central? Or is your body having a cheeky cheat? It happens. We're all human. Deep breath. Alrighty, from here we're going to rock up to seated, standing stretch now. So if you can open your feet like this for me, and then over this side, if you can turn your toes out so you're sort of lining up parallel with the edge of your mat like that. And then over on this side, if you can angle in at 45 degrees. Now at the moment my body's leaning forwards, I'm going to imagine I've got a pane of glass, like a shop window here in front of me. The only way I can go is sideways. So if you could do the same, just go sideways. Notice both legs are straight. Now I can see some of you rolling forwards and collapsing in the chest. Try to stack your shoulders one above the other and lengthen your top arm directly up. If you can see yourself in your own screen, notice your positioning. We want the head back slightly. Eye gaze now turning up towards the top hand. Deep breath. Enjoying our warrior pose. Now for those of you who are advancing on with this, where is your hand on that shin? Over time we'll bring the fingers to the floor, or more advanced we take a flat hand. And then from here we're going to shift into our warrior pose. So as we sink down, again if you can see yourself in your screen, we're looking for 90-degree angle just here, and we'll go long with the arms. Try and sink down into it, gazing off down the middle finger in a warrior-like fashion. Deep breath. Just slightly pushing out to the little toe edge of the feet to lift the arches. Breathe. So stamina building warrior pose. I'm going to straighten the leg. Turn the toes in over here. So these are now in at 45 degrees. And then this one, we're going to angle out. And we switch into our triangle pose over here. So again, just watch out for collapsing forwards. Imagine that pane of glass in front of you. Eye gaze up towards the top hand. Pulling your shoulder blades down away from your ears. Can you line your nose up with your fingers on that top hand? Breathe. For those of you advancing this on now, working towards fingertips to the floor, but flattening the hand. Breathe. And softening into the knees, we switch to our warrior pose. So again, sinking down, working towards 90-degree angle here. Soft softening the shoulders and gazing off down the middle finger. Breathe. So now we're going to bring our hands either side of the foot and we're going to step it back into a downward dog, lifting the tailbone in the air. Wriggling the toes back so the heels are off the floor, but we're pressing the heels downwards to get that good old stretch through the calves. Breathe. Eye gaze towards the belly. Breathe into the belly. Relax your shoulders. Let your head and your neck be loose and floppy. Breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. As you hold the pose, close your eyes. Use this time as your breathing space. You might use this time just to repeat a little phrase, a little mantra in your head. Something like, all is well. Breathe. Walking your feet towards your hands. And if you can find a stick again, we're going to take a little stretch to that area that we talked about at the start of the session. So levator scap, where it can get a little bit knotty. Common sight I work on when I'm doing massage with people. So we're going to walk our hands like this down the stick. You can do it with a towel or a jumper as well. So walk your hands as close together as you can, and we want that top elbow pointing upwards. And we're going to pull on the stick as we turn the head and look down over the shoulder. Hold it there, keeping some body weight in the heels. Breathe. And then allow your head to turn to the center, just softening the grip slightly. And we're going to repeat on this same side. We're going to pull like we're pulling the stick apart with the hands. Turn your head, look down, breathe. And release. And let's do that one more time over here. So pulling the stick apart. Breathe. And this time we're going to swap the hands. And notice what's the difference between the two sides. I know for me, when I had a particularly bad frozen shoulder, one side I could sort of scratch my own itch, but it was not very easy on the other side. So good to notice where your strengths and weaknesses are on these, particularly if you've had any issues around your neck and shoulders. Let's release and do that again. So pull, like you're trying to pull the stick apart as you turn your head. Looking down behind the shoulder, breathe. And just do that one more time. Relaxing the grip and then pulling again up and down. Pulling the stick apart, breathe. Alrighty, resting off. So if you can join me down on the back, time for a bit of R&R just to finish before we have a check-in together. If you can come and lay down onto your back. And just placing your hands here, one above your belly button and one below. Not much to see, it's more about you feeling, so I want you to close your eyes. Just let your body settle and sink into the ground. Notice your breath underneath your hands as you settle. Allow your focus to just be on that gentle movement of the rising and the falling in your belly. take a moment, a bit of self-appreciation. So just kind of giving yourself an internal high five for showing up, for getting it done today. Easy not to do it. Life does get in the way at times, but just allowing yourself that little bit of, yay me, I did it. I'll work through it today. And just taking a moment to contemplate how that habit of doing it repeatedly adds up. A bit like brushing our teeth. It's that consistency that keeps the teeth in place. Same with the hips, same with the back. Just taking a moment to check in with yourself on when you'll come to do this practice again. It's that cumulative effect of our health habits that makes all the difference. I want you to take a deeper breath in, so your hands sort of rise up and your belly fills with air. And then breathe out for as long as you can. So keep blowing out till you can't blow out any more air. Keep going. And then let your belly fill back up. And then a long exhale again. Keep blowing out until you can't blow out any more air. Keep going. And let your hands fill up. And emptying again. Keep going, keep going. Empty all the air out. And just do that one more time. Allow your attention to drift. Let your mind wander. Noticing now how you're feeling compared to the start of the session today. Has there been a shift in energy? What's been that shift? Bringing some of that energy into your evening. I want you to open your eyes, just being mindful of the room and what you can see in your peripheral vision. And then when you're ready, if you can roll over to your side, wakey wakey. So I hope that's made a difference to your day. When you're ready, if you can hit your unmute.